check, 1 2 1 2.
Say something on the mic. How about that? Is it working? All right. Trying to find Steve. All right.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to STSPN. It's the number 2 team in the AP poll in the state, the Bellevue
Can you guys
Wolverines.
hear me up there?
We can, and it's
Scotty
Glacier
O.
Peak. Go, Tim.
Are you ready for us? Give me a thumbs up.
Sure. Hannon's huddle right now. Tim Boyle, Steve Hannon.
Welcome, everybody. Tim Boyle here with our good friend Steve Hannon. Steve, big game tonight. I'm even nervous tonight. How you feeling?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's some nerves. I think it's more of let's just get this thing going and see what happens more than anything else.
All right, so the question is, last year, the defense did a good job. They held Bellevue to 30 points. People feel like you could actually win this game. If you can hold them to 30 tonight, do you feel like you got a shot?
Well, I mean, I would hope so, but their defense is really good. I mean, we hear all about their offense and their wing tee, but defensively, they're a really good football team. We're going to have some really good things happen tonight on the defensive side. A pick for a touchdown, a pick up a fumble for a touchdown. We're going to have to help the offense.
Scott Oshman wants to know if you bribed the Glacier Peak offense to score some points for you.
No, Coach Rowe does a great job with the offense. He's got a tall order tonight with this defense, and he'll do what he brought him here to do.
So what about a sub? You going to be subbing a lot tonight because they're running that wing tee. It can tire people out after a while, especially in the third and fourth quarter. What's your subbing plan?
Yeah, we got some depth this year, so we feel like we can move guys in and out, and you're going to see a lot of numbers in the game tonight. We're going to see a couple of guys starting that you don't normally see.
Excellent. Well, a lot of people are pulling for you, so good luck and wish you the best.
Hey, thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you. A big-time prime-time event here. Hannon's huddle there. Tim Boyle making his way. Good evening, everybody. STSPN right here. This is a big night. Bellevue, everybody knows about Bellevue. They are a juggernaut state title. They lost the first one last year to Eastside Catholic. GP undefeated 4-0. Coming into tonight, kind of cruising through their first Wesco 3A edition here for this campaign. And Bellevue started the year with a just juggernaut, the number one still right now in the Max Preps and many of the polls. Bishop Gorman taking a loss to start, but this is their fourth game of the year. They're 2-1, and Butch Gondaroff once again has just the mighty guys. And you look down there roster, and it's just D1, D1, D1. We will have more on the American Family Insurance pregame show coming up. American Family Insurance is a private mutual company that focuses on property, casualty, and auto insurance, but also offers commercial insurance, life, health, and homeowners coverage, as well as investments and retirement planning products. You got to go to sallypetty.com. That's Sally, P-E-T-T-Y, agent, and give her a call, 360-794-5404. Much more coming up on the American Family Insurance pregame show. It's Bellevue and Glacier Peak on STSPN. Don't go away.
GP wins the toss, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Who else brings you the coin toss?
All right, got a little bit of confusion there, but Bellevue's going to receive the opening kickoff, and Glacier Peak the third. So that's the coin toss, guys. Back up to you. Let's have a good game here tonight.
And no one tells it like the wedge.
Nobody can break in a huddle like the wedge.
You got to love it. Nobody does that.
Scott Hoshman along with Tim Boyle, our expert football analyst. Tim, how are you?
Doing good, Scott. I'm a little nervous tonight, actually.
Yeah.
I don't even get nervous for these games, but tonight I'm a little shaken up.
Well, as we continue on, we've got the whole crew. Ron, the Wedge Henthorn down there. We have the five-tool player running the board. Leslie McLean here spinning dials. We got Replay Rob. We got our Eagle Eye Cuneo and Johnny McLean on stats. Also, our camera, Shannon Cuneo, bringing you the great pictures. So we move on through the American Family Insurance pregame show. And first of all, let's talk a little bit about Bellevue and some of the just spectacular players we're going to see tonight.
Well, they have like 8 people going Division I or something, and they generally do. Almost every year they got 8 or 9 players, and they're not just going to like the Centrals or the Easterns. You know, these guys are nothing like there's anything wrong with that, but they're going to UCLA's and UWs and Washington State. Yeah, their quarterback, I think, to commit to Washington State already, and so it's big time.
Justice Rogers, number 3, and again the wing tee. Then they go on some spread offense. You'll see all kinds of versions. Isaiah Gilchrist, I mean, he was a USC commit and then decommitted, and then just this last month, September 12th, I believe, actually made the commitment to go to University of Washington. He wears the number 1, 6 foot 180, and he is just an absolute monster.
Yeah, it's going to be, hey, there's no secret. Hannon's got his work cut out for him tonight. It's going to be difficult, and I think if, we talked about it in the pregame in the interview, if he can hold him to 30 points, I think people think Glacier Peak's got a shot at this. The question is going to be, can the Glacier Peak offense put some points on the board, because Bellevue's defense is just as fast. You know, a lot of these guys are playing both ways, and when you got a really fast offense, usually you got a really fast defense too.
And let's talk about that Glacier Peak offense. Again, they've, they've put up gaudy numbers. Now, some will say, okay, let's not get too out of control here through the first 4 games who they played. And again, Meadowdale, they hit them the timing because their quarterback was hurt, and then 4 other major starters, big-time experienced starters are out. So it's a little bit hard to read, and that gets into, we'll talk about the offense. How good are they? And Coach Rowe, the head coach, Roy Rosenbaugh, that's one of the things he's trying to find out tonight. We think we're good. How good are we?
Well, and Meadowdale's a good example. We played Meadowdale every year, and those typically are close games. They've never beaten Meadowdale like they beat them last week. And I know, and Meadowdale's, in previous years, they've had a lot of injuries. They were plagued with injuries several years, and they pretty much manhandled them like they never have. So,
well, let's start with the quarterback position for Glacier Peak. Again, Rowe driving us crazy in the media. Everett Herald, our partners there, and STSBN and SLSN about who's going to start. And Devin Rainbow, again, when you look at his numbers right now, 35 for 56 through 4 games, 485 yards through the air. He's done everything you want him to do for the senior.
Yeah, and not only the good thing about that is even if Devin was having a bad game, the guy they can bring in to replace him is very solid too. So the quarterback position this year for Glacier Peak has really been a positive.
Yeah, the freshman Zymus, he has been spectacular. 500 and some yards, 539 yards. Is that what I'm? That's right. Aiden Zymus, the freshman, 72% completion rate, 21 for 29. And 385 yards, and it says Devin Rainbow has 539. So check that.
Yeah, and the other key stat there is 4 TDs, 0 interceptions. So that's huge.
And that's going to be a big key tonight because I don't think they've seen as fast of players and the level of athleticism and quickness and understanding. Turnovers are going to be huge. They always are. That's obvious.
Well, for these 2 quarterbacks, especially the young one, this is going to look completely different than what they've seen out of the Linwoods and the Shorewoods. It's going to be a whole different game. So they're going to have to – it's going to be trial by fire tonight because you can't really compare, Meadowdale's and the Shorewoods to this team. It's a huge step up tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see how they react because they're gonna get so much pressure that we'll just have to see how they handle it.
The other thing is we get on the American Family Insurance pregame show against Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, is when you look back at Bishop Gorman, again, they won big and they #1 team in the country in high school, but also you look back in the Eastside Catholic game, those teams were able to run on Bellevue and get some success there, keep them a little off balance. But you have for GP Ian Black, who's had a fantastic season so far. You have Colton Bunt. You have the hitman Guffey. And then you got Bye Bye Bunt.
And that's a beautiful name, by the way.
You're welcome.
Well, it's about time you came up with a good one.
I know. I'm about 4 years dry.
No, I don't know about that. But that's a great one. And, boy, they're going to need everything out of the Bunts and the Guffeys and the Blacks and all those people. They're going to need huge games out of them. And you know what? They've got it in them. They've got it in them. They've been playing fantastic this year. And, some people that we haven't even talked about, the Ricky Kranz.
Yes,
and,
the truck.
The truck.
The little mini truck.
Zach Argue is playing really good. We've gotten a lot of players stepping up this year.
And we've seen, again, Andrew McCoy, the boy McCoy, he has come up big a little bit more. They've shown him on offense as far as a receiver. You see Glacier Peak coming out here on the American Family Insurance pregame show on STSBN, but he's a big kid. He's 6'2", 210. He can handle the ball, and these type of athletes, when he gets in the second level for the Wolverines, you need somebody like Andrew McCoy.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? Really what has to happen tonight is all these key players have to play flawless football, and I know that's pretty obvious, but Bellevue can probably afford to make some mistakes tonight. Glacier Peak can't. Glacier Peak's going to have to play a perfect game, and it'll come down to some of those crazy penalties that they've had in years past and even a few this year. They won't be able to have those tonight, and if they want to win this game. Everybody
talking about, of course, Bellevue, even Roy Rosenbaugh in his article with the in the Herald today. He's been again, he hasn't said anything bad about all the sanctions or impending investigation for Bellevue Wolverines, But he's talked about we don't know if it really happened, didn't happen, and is that going to be a distraction? I think everybody who likes high school football around here is wondering what'll come of that.
Well, you got to wonder what kind of distraction that is, and that's on his mind. I think Rowe probably didn't say what he really wanted to say because, he's got a role to play here, and he doesn't want to. He's got to be a little bit play some politics a little bit. Us in the media, we got to take that stuff at face value. If there's an article and it has all these things, we got to take that at face value. And even if half of that stuff is accurate, then it's bad.
And you're seeing right there for the Bellevue Wolverines, their starting lineup, offense. And you look down that list, and it's a lot of names there that are going. We talked about big-time schools, big-time athletes. And it starts with Justice Rogers and Isaiah Gilchrist and Tyler Penn, who's going to OSU.
Where'd you say Justice Rogers was going to school?
Did I say Washington State or Washington?
I didn't hear that. Washington State, wow. You got to like a Coug.
You do. We're going to step away here. National Anthem live from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Snohomish, Washington. It's Bellevue and GP on Friday night, STSPN, presented by Gilpin Realty. Peak, and we're going to start off with the lineup, the offensive lineup for GP. Tim, tell them who they're looking at. Those great little looking
look
kids.
Look at that new feature on the screen there. How about that?
The 5-tool player worked a little overtime, so that's we'll refer back to that again. We talked about it. We were given a hard time. Thank you for asking Hannon my tough question.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that. But it's about the offense. Can they score against GP? And as we're talking about that, we'll put up the defensive lineup for GP, the starting lineups here for Glacier Peak defense. As they've got a tall task tonight. You'll see they've been playing well. They've shut out Meadowdale.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. How about that on the screen? This is just like Monday Night Football.
Dun, 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 dun. We're not playing around here at STSPN.
Or we need like Carrie Underwood up here singing the song.
Yes, we do.
That's Sunday Night Football.
That's Sunday night. But we're Friday night. We have to get a new I'm sure our crack staff, our agents are working on that. Let's talk about predictions as we're just getting ready for some football.
Well, we got an interesting one today. We saw Jim Dean at Starbucks, and he's going 21-27, but he won't say who.
Yes.
So we kind of got to dismiss that one.
Jim
if you're not going to
Dean,
go out on the lawn.
That's right.
The Wedge has got it 34-13 Bellevue. And then Scott, you got it 31-28 Glacier Peak. And I've got it 37-35 Glacier Peak. So kind of going with our emotions there a little bit.
We are, and Glacier Peak won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half, and you're seeing number 12, Kevin Ramsey. They call him Kicker Kev, and it always is a good time. We'll be mentioning our good friend Spencer Pettit, who I know is watching the game tonight.
In Nevada? Or what?
I think he's in Nevada tonight. I'm not sure, though. We might check the Twittersphere.
The Weapon?
And we have some special halftime guests coming in. Aaron Lammers of the Herald. Everett Herald will come in at halftime. Again, he preseason picked Glacier Peak to go undefeated. Here we go.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
Try the onside.
I kind of like the call, actually. Gutsy. Didn't quite pay off for him, but you've seen it. We've seen him do that before several times on the first play of the game. I think they did it to Snohomish a couple of years ago.
Yes, they did. Michael Medzagian, the senior, boy, he caught that ball and he went down fast, Tim Boyle.
He just wanted to maintain possession.
He was not
And
going to
here comes the wing
muck
tee,
about.
ladies and gentlemen.
Here it is. And they'll start on the 43-yard line. And again, Justice Rogers swings it out. And Guppy there for a nice tackle, and that was to Christoph Hirota.
And that's going to be a tackle for a loss there, Scott. I think Guffey got him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. So
And they
didn't
actually
fool
marked
anybody
it.
there. And they actually, yeah, normally they kind of put it up a yard or two.
Another exclusive feature here on STSPN is instant replay, so we'll be watching for that. Should be second and 12. The board, just the first quarter. No score here. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, Ron Henthorn. Justice Roger fakes down. Go back to pass. Now he's looking to run. He goes deep, and he's got Gilchrist.
Oh,
and it's
and
broken
broke
up by Dexter Carter.
And look at Dexter. And I'll tell you what, Dexter made up some ground at the very last second. I don't know if you caught that on the screen, but he makes up a lot of ground because, and you're seeing it right there on the screen. That was going to be a catch for probably 6 points. So here we're going to see it again, the 5-tool player. Watch Dexter make up about 4 yards at the end there, just enough to break it up, and he got there in the nick of time.
Interesting opening drive here, series for
Two
going
passes in a row.
going deep. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 12. It's homecoming for Glacier Peak.
And they're looking at trips left here.
Justice looks left, now goes right, and that's Penn. Tyson
And they're-
Penn, and he's not going to get the first down.
Yeah, and they're going to be about 3 or 4 yards short. Question is, are they going to roll the dice right off the bat? My guess is they're going to go for that at that field position. So it's going to be 4th and probably 3 or 4 is what it looks like from here. And they are going for it, Scott.
Absolutely, they will go for it. Right there.
Maybe not. I don't
know. He's
It's-
back. Justice Rogers also does the punting. They give it off to Gilchrist. He gets the first down and more. Again, another trap play, and Gilchrist gets to the 41.
Yeah, and they kind of lined up they kind of tricked him a little bit. They lined up. They did have what looked like a punter back there.
And Justice Rogers does the punting as well. So it's kind of a little deception there, Tim
A
Boyle.
little bit.
10-14 left in the first quarter. You see Bellevue running out quick with a 1st and 10. On the Glacier Peak 43.
We're lined up off sides right now.
Now under
they're gonna-
center.
Let's see if they're going to call that.
Gets it up and punches through. This is what we talked about. Can Guffey get to him?
And Guffey does get to him.
And that's Ursel Terrell, but a huge gain.
Yeah, and it was actually a good play by Guffey to actually bring him down from make up some yardage. Bellevue's probably actually not used to having people chase him down.
And catch him.
And catch him, yeah.
So now, again, and that's what we talk about, the big play. And they're down at the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. Double receivers out to the right. They give it to Tercel, and he's smacked down hard there by the GP defense. Andrew McCoy first there.
And he was taken down with authority there. And we're going to show it to you right there.
So 2nd and goal. Opening drive here for Bellevue. No score, 9-13 in the first quarter. Prep football presented by Gilpin Realty here on the Snohomish Times Sports Network. Welcome everybody in STSPN. 2nd and goal right now as under center. Did he give it? No, he fakes it. He gives it around the corner. They're fake. That's going to be a touchdown, Bellevue, for number 5, Christoph Hirota.
And the reason that was a touchdown is because they ran that fake absolutely perfectly. Glacier Peak bid on that, and it kind of even tricked some people up here. But that was a good little trick play there.
So
That's the wing tee in action.
11-yard touchdown for Hirota. And they had him 3rd, 4th, and 3 about, right,
Yeah,
Tim?
4th and 3, 4th and 4.
And number 16, the kicker,
Well,
Monahan, puts it through, and it's 7-0 here with 8:45 left in the first quarter.
well, now, and we knew Bellevue was going to score some points, so we're gonna take a break here, and we'll come back and break that down a little bit.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Welcome back, STSPN. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, and the whole STSPN crew. We're live at Veterans Memorial Stadium. 7-0 Bellevue on top. They take the first series, and that wing tee is so hard, Tim Boyle, on deception where you don't know. He held that ball, Rogers, for it seemed like an hour.
I know, and we were talking about that earlier in the game, that wing tee, it's kind of 3 yards, 4 yards, and then they'll break these big ones open, and that's what Glacier Peak's going to have to stop tonight.
Back for Glacier Peak is Bye-Bye Bunt and Dexter Carter to receive as Monahan kicks it off.
And they're going to kick it to one of them, so
And
we'll see
here
what happens.
is Colton Bye-Bye Bunt. Let's see if he can get some
Uh-oh.
room.
Oh, he had a hole there for a second. The problem is Bellevue's got some very fast players, which Glacier Peak isn't used to seeing so far this year.
Mike Moran looked like he was one of the guys there for Bellevue. And they will start the offense. One of the big questions, can their offense score any points? They were unable to last year when Glacier Peak was at Bellevue.
Well, and most people think GP is going to need to score about 40 tonight to make this a game.
And the starting quarterback is number 17. That's Jackson Swim.
Whoa, now that's a little bit of a surprise there.
Yeah, more of his rushing quarterback. That's a sophomore. Usually we don't know if Devin Rainbow or if Zymus, the freshman. So 17 in there.
Kind of an interesting call by Rowe there.
Real interesting.
Nobody expected that.
Might have to go down to the wedge, see if we can find out what's going on. Second down, there's no gain. They give it the up back, and he is just tortured back. Look at the big kids, the Bellevue kids, and that's Ian Black, who's had a great 4-game series here, but they'll give him a gain of 1.
Yeah, they're going to need to open that up just a little bit. I don't think they're going to burn Bellevue just running it straight up the middle, that's for sure.
We'll talk about some of the highlighted people in Bellevue. Isaac Garcia, the big-time D1 player there. So 3rd down and 8. Fake it, now they hand a bunt. Nothing there, absolutely crushed.
Interesting play calling. I'm just wondering if they're trying to get a feel of that defense, but I don't think you're going to be able to do that now they're already looking at 4th and 8 after 3 quick plays.
And Marcus DeWeert, again, the 6', 270 senior. Again, really interesting things going on. I don't know why Jackson Swims out there. I don't know why they're just running it up the gut every time.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if Ron can give us a little insight on that when we get a second.
So back to punt is Kevin Ramsey, and deep for Bellevue is number 29.
And he's going to try
Thomas
to
Lindsay,
Oh,
and he
he's
fumbled
it.
And they can't quite get him. They'll get him at the 45 again. Good starting point for Bellevue. Interesting, bizarre series for Glacier Peak. We'll talk about it. You're seeing the replay. I'm just stunned a little bit here.
Can we get down to Ron?
Ron, do you know anything if there's any injuries to Devin Rainbow or Zymus?
No injuries that I know of right now. I think what I saw was just a kind of a little strategy play there by Coach Rowe to see what the running game might look like. So interesting to see what happens when we come back out again. Back to you as Bellevue's about to go.
1st and 10 from their own 46. Rogers flips it over. It's almost picked off by Guffey.
And
Or no,
Guffey-
that's Argue.
and he jumped the route on him. That was close. He got glove on that ball.
And Argue with a huge game last week against Meadowdale. 3 sacks, should have had a sack pickup and a TD,
That
but
could
it's
have
called
tied
back.
the score right there.
Big plays.
Here we go.
2nd and 10. And Zach Argue on the end there. He read that. Now out of shotgun. And there's a flag.
That's probably going to be on Bellevue for some type of illegal procedure there. Oh, and I wonder if we lined up offsides.
You know, you mentioned that earlier.
Because somebody was lined up offsides earlier and they got away with it. So I didn't see anybody actually jump on that one.
Well, we talked about penalties, time management, game management, all those things. You have to have a perfect game if you're going to even have a chance.
Yeah,
It's
now
Bellevue.
the big play by Argue on first down is kind of negated.
Right, 2nd and 5 now from the mid-stripe. Fakes the handoff.
And
Rogers, and now he gets bumped
got
down
him
by
for
his
a
own
sack.
guy.
And Kranz was in there, I know that.
Ricky Kranz, a little mini truck who had a huge game last week. He's been playing great. Also had some good moments last year as well.
Hey, and by the way, he doesn't weigh 100 pounds. Scott.
No.
We heard from his mother.
That's right.
And we got scolded.
We did, and we
He's
deserved
100.
it.
He wrestled 152.
That was a typo on the roster that we fell for.
She said she does actually feed him.
We're so gullible. So that now negates that other penalty. Now it's 3rd down and 10. Rogers flips it over to Penn. It's caught,
Oh, man.
but he's tackled right there, but he's near a first down.
That was actually a great play on his part just to catch the ball because he threw that in perfect coverage.
He is just
But it's
how do you cover 6'5"? I mean,
It's difficult. So it's going to be 4th down, though. 4th and a long 2.
very similar to the first drive.
Yeah, so see if they can hold him this time.
If you're just joining us, the first drive they went it for 4th and 3. Tyler Penn got a first down. There was a 33-yard big play by Terrell that broke it down for 11-yard touchdown. They hand it off again to Terrell, and he gets the first down and a few more. Easy pickings. Now it looks like the ball's out and there's a scrum.
Yeah, it looks like Bellevue, if the ball came out, Bellevue got it back. I didn't see it come out, but.
Well, it looked like something was going on down there. Another first down.
And these are going to be difficult in the 3rd and 4th quarter when they're getting these 4th downs and they're, going 4 downs into.
So another penalty.
We got a little something going on down on the field. Oh, another penalty?
Yep.
Oh, my. That's going to be probably a personal foul. Let's see.
Face mask is what we're seeing.
Oh, and he's walking. He's going to, sprain his ankle walking so far.
He might need GPS. Let him know where he's going.
Slow down. That looked like a 15-yarder there, folks.
5 minutes, 15 seconds left here in the first quarter. Bellevue up 7-0. Their first.
What was the penalty?
Face mask.
Was it a face mask? And that hurts right there.
If you're just joining us, Glacier Peak has one offensive series. They were 3 and out. And now on the near side, you have Logan Weaver playing defense as Justice Rogers under center. Hands it off to the first guy, 48, and he drives through, a pile driving, and a great saving tackle there by Kranz.
Was that Kranz that got 42? It was. He was almost off to the races there.
So another first down. Again, they just pound and pound and pound. And that was Blake Jones, 48, I believe, the runner on that last play.
You got Logan Weaver out here on the as a DB on the near side.
Crouching down. Again, they get it to big number 48, Blake Jones. And he'll get a couple here.
And that's a good hold by the line. And Hannon said that all 11 players have a specific job to do on every single play. Obviously, like they do in any game, but tonight it's much more important. And if one of them messes up, it's huge problems.
Well, the wing tee, it's just critical. He crouches down there. He hides it. So, again, we see Elvig in there. You got Malachi Fafita down the line for Glacier Peak as well. And now crouching down again under center. 2nd and 8. Does he keep it?
Oh,
He
and
gets
look at
it,
that.
and that's a big play again by Ian Black.
And Ian Black was not fooled for even a nanosecond on that play. That was beautiful.
Thomas Lisi, the ball carrier, the senior, 5'9", 160. They just have so many weapons. You look down, every time you look, it's not the same guy getting the ball for Bellevue.
No, and it's difficult. Obviously, it's difficult for the GP defenders because they've just got too many people to go to. But Ian Black, what a play there. And I think, and Hannon's loving that. He's all jacked up.
3 minutes and 14 seconds, and that'll be a Fred's Rivertown Ale House timeout, and we will step away. 7-0 Bellevue threatening on STSBN. Back, 3:14 left in the first quarter. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, Ron the Wedge Henthorn, and we'll check in with him in a second. Ron, what's going on down there?
Hey, you guys know what a huddle is? Technology at its best, guys.
Yeah.
Every one of these coaches on either side here has a little instant replay camera, and I'm actually standing next to it right now. They can look at the last play and see what was going on. But it's noisy down here, so let's see if they can hold Bellevue again on 3rd down. Go back to it and get it.
Well, 3rd and 12, they can still get a first down at the 3-yard line. Justice goes fade for Tyler Penn.
Pass
That's
interference.
pass interference on Logan Weaver.
Yeah, and I think the thing there is he had to do it because he was getting beat and he knew it. It was pass interference, but it saved a touchdown.
Some really interesting matchups. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why isn't Guffey on Penn?
It is very interesting because when you're 6'5", you need somebody with, a little
again,
taller. And
yeah, Logan Weaver is a great athlete. He's a junior, big lacrosse player, of course, so I love lacrosse. Bellevue, good lacrosse team. But, you're sticking a kid out there. He hasn't got a ton of playing time. And, here's a D1 athlete, 6'5", and
welcome
a 4,
to the party
540.
here.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask.
So pass interference. And Ron was alluding to all the coaches down at Glacier Peak, and this is big in high school now, on their iPads or the tablets, they have the ability to see the play. But 3 minutes and 11 seconds left in this first quarter. Bellevue up 7-0. They've already rushed 62 yards, Tim.
They only gave him a 5-yarder. I wonder if they called that defensive holding because he was holding before the ball was in the air.
Same matchup on the far side of the field. Tyler Penn with Logan Weaver. Rogers, does he give it? No, he fakes it, and he's hammered down again by Ian Black. Oh, baby.
And you didn't fool him the first time, but they thought they'd fool him again. Ian Black, welcome to the party.
I tell you, he is just steady, powerful.
Oh, and it's going to make – that didn't give him an automatic first down on the defensive holding.
No.
I'm confused on the rule there because that was definitely pass interference or defensive holding. But it's usually an automatic first down.
Monahan for a 31-yard attempt. Hold is down. The kick is up, and it is good.
Well, chalk that one up to a couple penalties. But actually, I think Logan Weaver's penalty actually saved him a touchdown, and it didn't get him. I'm still confused on why that wasn't an automatic first down. But
well, while Tim figures that out, we'll step away. You're watching Glacier Peak Bellevue on STSBN. Back here, Bellevue, boy, good job by Glacier Peak holding to a field goal, and we want to go down to Ron Henthorn. He might have some clarity on that penalty by Logan Weaver.
Just a little clarity on that. It wasn't pass interference. It was holding. The first flag was thrown before he left the line there, so it was holding before they had the ball in the air. So that's why it was only a 5-yard penalty.
No, yep, I get that, but defensive holding is typically a automatic first down, but maybe not in high school.
Monahan with a punt, Dexter Carter, and bunt back to receive. He takes it from his 2-yard line. Here comes Colton Bunt. And Colton's hammered there around the 20-21. Great to see Colton Bunt out. He was out all last year with a back injury he received. He's actually a heck of a baseball player as well.
Yep, and he broke his back playing baseball, as we've alluded to before.
Yeah, he's really dying to play football. He loves playing football, and he's had a great year so far.
And he needs a great game tonight, that's for sure, if they're going to win this game.
So let's see who's out in quarterbacking this time. Dexter Carter to his left. And it looks like swim again to Carter, and he is just absolutely destroyed before he even barely gets the ball. And
so
Ron, can you
4 plays in a row with the different quarterback and running right up the middle. They're setting them up for something.
I guess so. I guess Ron said this is a little strategery here, but it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. I mean, Marquise DeWeert is just doing whatever he wants for Bellevue. 2nd and 10, shotgun, now back, swim. Throws it, trying to go to McCoy. McCoy wasn't even looking, timing off a little bit like that. And again, I can't blame the sophomore who hasn't gotten much time. He's usually a running quarterback.
No, I'm curious. I'm curious about the quarterback decision. I'm not sure what happened in practice this week, or if this is just strategery. Or
this is interesting strategery, I got to tell you. 3rd down and 10. We'll try and get some clarification as well. Ron the Wedge Henthorn, he'll break into the huddle if he has to. Fakes it to Carter over, trying to get it to Dvorak.
And he was actually open.
He was.
The pass was a little heavy on the pass.
Kyle Dvorak, the 6'4 senior, also see him on the Glacier Peak basketball court coming this winter. But again, everybody up in the STSPN crew in our booth, we're just shaking our heads. I have no idea what's going on here. They'll punt nonetheless. Back,
Boy,
back to
the crowd's
I think
getting a little
homecoming
anxious
crowd.
there.
Thomas Lazy, he's going to let this one bounce. Takes a big Glacier Peak bounce. And they'll finally down that at the 37 or 36, Tim.
Get an extra about 15 yards on that bounce. A little soccer-style bounce there.
So dazed and confused is the homecoming crowd here.
Get a couple people shouting out their displeasures.
We need to know, why is our other 2 quarterbacks not playing in this game with 1:29 left to go here in the first quarter? Bellevue up 10-0.
We will have to find that out.
2 series so far for Glacier Peak. Barely gained any yards. Justice Roger back at work. Now he's going to fling it deep, and he's going to Penn. It's over. Oh, that's not Penn.
Yeah, but there's a flag on the play. And where that flag is typically a defensive hold or, illegal contact or something of that variety.
He's going to Ellington, number 6.
We will see what the ref has to say here. Holding defense. There you go.
Penalties. But you know what? Great athletes and somebody who's faster and bigger and stronger, sometimes that'll make you.
Sometimes it's your only option.
Yeah. We saw that with Logan Weaver.
Yeah. he definitely didn't have another option on that.
He bought a ticket to the Penn bus, and he said, I'm going to hang on to you, buddy.
See, now here they're marking it off 10 yards on this one.
It's a spot foul. Replay Rob saying it's a spot foul.
Okay.
So it is a first down. Now 1st down and 10. Interesting, kind of a off-kilter game here. Justice Rogers.
Looks like not bad angle, but it looks like we're almost lined up offsides. All right, a good job. Good job on the defense there.
And that's off to Ursel Terrell, who again had the 33-yard big run in the first series that led to 11-yard touchdown.
And when you can hold these guys to like 2 or 3 yards on a play, that's actually really good. You got all these Division I athletes, and it's tough, especially this type, looking at this wing T.
2nd and 6 now on the Glacier Peak 49. Under center. Hands it to Terrell one more time, and he's
2, maybe 2.5 yards.
Again, Ricky Krantz doing a nice job up front. All the big boys, Glacier Peak, doing what they can.
Yeah, and this is kind of what happens with Bellevue. Sometimes they do this. They get you for 3 and get you for 2, and then they open it up with big plays. And all in all, Glacier Peak's kind of holding their own here, not offensively.
As the clock winds down, the first quarter, 21 seconds, probably get this play off. 10-0 Bellevue here, as it's 3rd and 4. They fake it, who they give to, and it's crushed. Another great job sniffing out the wing T as they take down.
It looks like you got McCoy in there and Guffey in there, and I didn't see who else was in there.
Hirota, again, who scored the 11-yard touchdown play, and that will end the first quarter. So, Bellevue, Glacier Peak, the number 2 team in the state against the number 7 team, 3A football presented by Gilpin Realty. We'll have more right after this on STSPN. Great graphics, as always, by Todd Elvig, our executive producer, engineer, and the 5-tool players, Scott Oshman and Tim Boyle.
Are they punting here, Scott?
They look
4th
like
and
they're
6.
gonna 4th and 6.
Yep.
And they actually
Okay.
do. Number 4 does put Guffey back there, and
going.
it's getting into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback.
Well, they need to get the ball in Guffey's hands, is what they need to do.
They really do. Again, that was one of the big stories early in the season, that we got to get him the ball more. Cole Cirillo, the kicker or the punter there for Bellevue.
Okay, who's coming in at quarterback here? That's the
Devin
question.
Rainbow.
Rainbow is coming in. Okay.
Ron the wedge. Thank you, Ron. So this is the senior cornerback, Devin Rainbow.
Interesting strategy by Rowe in the first couple series.
Very interesting. Can't wait to talk to him. Maybe at halftime we'll have Coach Rowe as he goes into halftime. 1st and 10 now. And not much of a hole, and Ian Black just does what he can, falls forward.
Couple yards maybe.
There, it looks like they'll give him 1 or 2, like you said, 2nd and 8. Tyron Sams and DeWert again on the tackle for Bellevue. Rainbow in the shotgun now.
Is that bunt in the backfield?
That is Ian Black.
But
Rainbow sitting back, has a few minutes, goes deep and almost caught.
Oh, man. Oh. Little rough on the tackle there.
And that was intended for Guffey. He kind of laid out, tried to make a one-handed grab. You're seeing the replay right now.
Yeah, and he had to pay for that one a little bit.
Little slow getting up, and that was, again, Gilchrist back there.
Now they're looking at 3rd and 8 here.
So the first series here for the senior quarterback, the first 2 series were Jackson Swim, the sophomore, who has not got much time this year.
And Glacier Peak just needs a first down here to get some type of rhythm going.
Haven't gotten one
Get
so
Bellevue,
far.
keep Bellevue off the field.
Ian Black in the backfield to get it to Ian, get a lead blocker. Spins across the
and it's gonna be
25 to
close.
28.
He's not going to have it. He's going to be about a yard short, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Rowe goes for this. They've got to get something going. I think they're going to be about a yard short. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they stay on the field there.
Sams with the tackle there. So this is a big play here, down 10-0, 10:51 left in the first half. Rainbow.
And
they
he
throw him off
got what
sides.
he was looking for. So good call by the Riverboat Gambler. And he kind of was in a position where he kind of had to go for that.
Omar Dials, another huge recruit, the senior, 5'11", 270 pounds. Tries to play that one off as he jets off the field.
Did he give him a hard count on that?
I did a little he did a little Tom Brady.
Yeah.
A little hard count. So that's the first down Glacier Peak has had tonight at their own 34. Get it to Black. Now on the side. Can't quite turn the corner, but he'll get a nice, they'll look like a two
or three yards there. They're trying to chip away at it.
Some substitution here now. Colton Bunt on the near side slot. Guffey on the near side. You see Zach Hatch now coming over also to the near side. So trips on one side.
Yeah, Glacier Peak definitely mixing it up right now.
2nd down and 8 from their own 36. Rainbow now gets pressure, goes over and out. Just Bunt just wasn't tall enough there.
He kind of got lucky that one wasn't picked off. Definitely a little bit over the top there.
3rd down and 8 here for Glacier Peak. Still trying to figure out if they can get some mojo going on offense.
Yeah, and right now in a rare case, Glacier Peak needs first downs more than they need points.
I don't know if Ron was trying to say something there. 3rd and 8 on their own 36. 2nd quarter. Rainbow now gives it off to Black. Black goes to the left side, and he's met by a bunch of white jerseys. And again, Omar Dials, one of the first guys there.
Now this is going to be an interesting call. You're probably looking at 4th and 5. Well, he's not thinking about it too much.
Riverboat Gambler. Rainbow, maybe they'll try and get the hard count. Now they all look up and look over. Big 72, Howard, the offensive line for Glacier Peak. Devin Rainbow looking over. 4th down, big. Now he's going to get out of the pocket. Gets shaked.
Good job.
Eludes a tackler going deep. And it's
He
caught.
got it.
It's caught by Zach Hatch at the 40-yard line, the 39-yard line, the longest play.
And there it is on replay. And Scott, that was large, and for several reasons. Also, what a job by Rainbow to actually get out of that pressure and keep his composure. So great play, great catch, great throw, great scramble. Big first down.
22-yard pass completion to Zach Hatch from Rainbow.
And a minute ago I said, well, they kind of need first downs more than they need points. They need to keep Bellevue off the field right now. So these first downs are huge.
Just 10-0, held them to a field goal the last time down. 1st and 10 now from first time they've been in Bellevue territory. Rainbow going deep again to McCoy.
Oh,
can't get
just
there.
Just a little bit overthrown. That actually would have landed right in his hands. He probably would have had that just a tiny bit overthrown.
Medjian on the coverage, well covered, but it was a well thrown ball, just a little bit too far. 8:34 here in the 2nd quarter, 2nd down and 10. And that first down, Tim Boyle, that was an Umpqua Bank first down.
Yes, it was.
Devin Rainbow, the senior, in at quarterback. Guffey on the near side.
That's going to be a flag.
They're going with it, and he's trying to go to Guffey, but looked like it was a dead play.
It looked like it was a false start. I think that – did they actually throw a flag on that? It should have been a flag because the line was actually moving when they snapped that ball. But they got away with it looks like.
3rd down and 10 nonetheless. Third down and 10, 8:29 here in the first half. Glacier Peak, the number 7 ranked team in the state against Bellevue, number 2. Low snap, Rainbow has trouble, but now he gets it. Now he's got to run. He's getting chased, and you're not going to get away from Isaac Garcia. 6'4", 220, and runs like the wind.
And that's going to bring up an interesting fourth down there.
Well, why not? Go for it.
I think I go for it in this spot. You know, you can't just keep giving them the ball back, and I think they'll go for it.
Homecoming crowd looking for something to get excited about. As Devin Rainbow now, Ian Black. And we'll see if Bellevue puts some pressure on. Low snap again. It's been a trouble. They go to the bubble screens and bunt.
Uh-oh.
There
That's
goes bunt. He's tripped up.
Oh, man, he was so close, too, and he's going to come up a couple yards short. I think he kind of he was close. I think he kind of made the wrong cut there at the very end, but that was a big play by the was it number 6 there?
That's Ellington.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was a great play on his part.
He'll be playing on Saturdays as well. Just barely. They'll turn it over on downs. But the best offensive series with the 22-yard pass play to Zach Hatch. So here comes the Bellevue offense once again. They've had 3 drives. They have scored on 2 of them, just up 10-0 here. Rogers now go back to pass. He has time, now gets pressure, lets it go, and it's caught at the 47-48-yard line by Big 2.
And I think the quarterback might be hurt.
That was to Isaac Garcia.
He got that off just in the last nanosecond before he was going to get hit, and he looks like he's shaken up pretty hard there.
The pocket was collapsing if we're looking on replay.
We're going to try to show you that on replay here.
There's the catch.
Didn't quite get it.
Isaac Garcia, the UW commit, with the catch. That's a big first down, an Umpqua Bank first down, as they tend to Justice Rogers. But I tell you what, they have Jack Enger as the backup, who's had plenty of time, a junior, 6'3", 175 pounds, and he's got plenty of experiences. You see him walk off the field. Hope he's all right.
Looks like he's getting off the field, no problem. So my guess is you're going to see him back again.
Rogers 4 for 7, 36 yards through the air. 21 is long. Usually he has a lot of running stats here, but Terrell leading them so far with 5 carries and 45 yards. So here is Enger at quarterback for Bellevue in the first down. He gets it to Terrell. Terrell, plenty of space.
Yeah, and he made a great cut at the couple yards behind the line of scrimmage to actually make that happen. Some good vision there on his part.
Guffey able to bring him down, but not before an Umpqua Bank first down. 7:22 left here in the second quarter. 10-0 Bellevue.
And this is kind of where Bellevue just wears everybody down with those, those first downs after first downs, and it just, it catches up to the defense. And Hannon's going to have to do some creative substitution here.
Well, he said this is their depth, right? They're the deepest they've ever been.
Yeah.
And just like that, Rogers is back out there at quarterback, and now there's official timeout. It is a timeout by Bellevue. 10-0, 6:55 left to go in the first half. Don't go away. This is big time football on STSPN. First and 10 for Bellevue on the Glacier Peak 37. Rogers got sacked and got down. He got the ball away. It wasn't a sack. He got hurt. He was out for one play. And whistles are blowing and hankies are going.
Probably going to be a false start. I didn't see anybody jump into the neutral zone, but yep, false start. It's going to give GP a little 5-yard cushion there.
And this is what we talked about, kind of the lull to sleep, the wing T lull, where you just, it keeps coming, 3 gang, 4 yards, 3, 4, and then boom, it hits you.
Exactly. And then before you know it, the defense is just gassed.
70 yards on the ground so far for Bellevue.
And this is what I was talking about earlier. Glacier Peak's going to need to sustain some first down drives, just, several first downs in a drive. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble.
First and 15. Rogers in the shotgun, fakes it to Terrell. Now he's getting pressure, gets out. This is where he can run.
Hold. That's a hold right there on number 65. Was holding, not sure who he was holding, but he was right in front of the ref. I could see it clearly up here.
Well, a great job by Ian Black one more time to catch up to a very quick and fast Justice Rogers. Not many can catch up to him. So 2nd and 11 here for Bellevue.
Yeah, and I think Coach K's down there yelling about it, and I think a lot of the coaches saw that clearly.
See what happens here. 2nd 11. Glacier Peak defense hanging in there, only giving up 10 points so far. They gave up 30 in the loss last year. Rogers in the shotgun. Now he looks over. Fakes it. Now he goes over. It's almost intercepted. Zach Argue was a thrown ball to him.
Oh, and that was almost 6 points. Although the receiver would have probably caught him, but that was very close there.
Man alive, almost a big pick. And he had green acres before his eyes there. That maybe he got a little too excited.
Sometimes the excitement gets to you on those.
3rd down and 11, again at the 38-yard line. Clock ticking down, just under 6 minutes in the first half. Rogers fakes.
Oh,
now he's going to get taken down by Elving.
Wow.
Jacob Elving.
Wow.
Down goes Rogers.
The 5-tool kid.
Oh,
wow, the 5-tool junior. Wow.
And where are they going to spot it? Where? Look at the spot. They spot it 10 yards in front of the sack. It's unbelievable.
That's ridiculous. He was fighting off the sack, but they gave him the forward progress.
Cirillo, and that's the biggest play of the first half right now with 5:20 left. Cirillo to
He's
punt.
got a punt.
Guffey. And Guffey takes it and he's smacked, but he plays it off.
Oh, look at Guffey. And there's something you don't see very often on GP is actually returning punts. They
Very
don't
rare.
return a lot of punts for some reason.
It's like an antique, like collectors.
It is. Hard to find footage on that.
So a huge defensive stat. And, big kudos to the defensive backs there for the coverage to allow big Jacob Elvig, the junior,
that was large. That could be a game changer.
It absolutely could. Now the young freshman in for the first time tonight, his first look at Bellevue. Zymus flips it over. It's complete, and that'll get about 3 or 4 yards to Devin Wolhoff, who's had again, very good season. 5'9", the senior. Leaves him 2nd and 6, Tim. Dexter Carter right behind him. Zymus, quick throw again to Wolhoff. Wolhoff tries to shake one, but again, you're just not going to get a ton of run after yards after a
not on
catch.
These guys, you're not. He did get some positive yardage, so.
Not a lot of yak yards on this team.
Oh, it's saying 3rd and 6.
So they're going to get no gain on that. 3rd and 6.
Looked like you got a couple.
Felt like it.
All right, big 3rd down here for GP. They got to get some first downs.
Luke Lane on the tackle there for Bellevue. Aiden Zymus coming into tonight had his best game against Meadowdale last week. But a true freshman bobbled, and Carter just picks it up, and that's a broken play, and that's been an issue all year.
He bobbled it because the snap was on the ground
Yep.
again, and that's probably about the 4th or 5th snap we've seen on the ground, and it's tough to recover from that. You got to be mistake-free out there.
So Coach Rowe is not going to risk this one, not on his own 22-yard line. Ramsey will punt.
Ooh.
And he gets this one off. Decent punt. Lacey comes back. What happened there?
I think we got a little – I think they're not going to throw a flag. I think he got shoved out of bounds well after the play. Where's the replay here? Let's see if we can catch this. Oh, yeah. Come on. Little unnecessary roughness there, and the refs have missed a couple big calls now, and the staff doesn't like it, the homecoming crowd doesn't like it. We don't like it up in the booth.
And Ellington, again, kind of raising his arms to the Glacier Peak homecoming crowd. Did you see it again? Did you see it? Did we do that again? Yeah.
I can't look at it anymore.
3:20 left here in the first half. Here it is again. Here's the punt.
It's out of bounds, and I don't like it.
I don't know. Lacey.
Scott's trying to take the politically correct route.
3:20, 1st and 10 from their own 43. Rogers going deep. Now he's got Gilchrist on Carter, one-on-one, and Dexter Carter breaks it up.
Aubrey Carter in the house. That was one-on-one coverage, literally one-on-one.
Dexter, look out.
How about
Carter?
that?
Let's see that. That is tight right there. You can't do it any better.
And you're not out running the district champion in the 100 meters.
That is a tough assignment. Isaac Gilchrist, one of the best in the country. Heading to University of Washington next year, so 2nd and 10.
Oh, and Carter's playing him tight right on the line.
Trips out to the far side.
I think that's a false start,
I think it
ladies
is.
and
Terrell.
gentlemen. I saw movement early. I'd rather have that, though.
Black there. McCoy there.
Now here, 3rd and 11, Scott.
I'm telling you, the defense is coming to play here.
You know, when you're holding Bellevue to 10 points almost at the half, that's good. It was a 1-yard loss.
That's
3rd and 11.
Commendable, I'd say, just at the least. This team averaging, I mean, they have just crushed people. Mercer Island, they blanked them. Sammamish, they put 47 up. 3rd and 11.
What do we got there? Is that a timeout? Or is it a delay of game? Back it up 5 more yards. Glacier Peak might be getting in their head.
2 minutes, 26 seconds, reminiscent of
2011. I was just going to say the exact same thing. You beat me to it. They're unraveling.
Stay tuned for our Action Jackson halftime show. We have some homecoming festivities along with Everett Herald sports prep writer Aaron Lammers. 3rd and 16. Hirota in motion. Rogers steps up. Now in trouble, he loses the ball, and it goes right back to him.
Wow. The pressure got to him, and Leslie's saying that there's rain out there. We can't see it from here, but it's raining.
Malachi Fafita there.
Ron is saying it. I'm giving Leslie credit that she doesn't deserve. How about that, though? 4th and 20. If you're watching at home, 4th and 20.
Just under 2 minutes here in the first half. 10-0. Who'd have thunk it? Another punt, the 3rd of the half for Bellevue.
Oh, and they roughed the punter. Oh, my gosh.
McCoy.
Are you kidding me?
It's still 4th and 20. I mean, how long is that going to be? It dribbles all the way down to the 15-yard line. A heck of a punt.
I don't
My
know
goodness.
what type of – I don't know what – do they have the 2 different types here? Let's see what they're going to say. I think it's the 5-yard variety there. So Bellevue
if I'm-
might just decline it.
Yeah.
We'll just go to Ron.
Let's go down to our Edmonds Community College sideline reporter, Ron the Wedge Henthorn. Ronnie?
Yeah, unfortunate that we had that little interference there. Andrew McCoy just tried to hold up, but actually hit into him a little bit. So that's going to be a first down for Bellevue, I believe. So
I don't think it
down
is.
here.
Oh, it's raining, Ron?
It's raining down here, guys.
You can't
but,
see it from here, but
You can
Well-
look up at the lights. You might be able.
yeah, it looks like we got a little drizzle coming down.
And that's one of the things, our weather has been so tremendous. If you're watching from around the country, around the world, these kids have not had a lot of practice in the rain.
No.
It's been dry, and that could, if it continues, might be a factor on both sides. So 1st and 10, and Zymus still out there, the freshman, deep on their 14-yard line, getting low slap. Now a delayed handoff.
Uh-oh.
Nice little crease, and Ian Black keeps on punching through.
And that should be a first down, ladies and gentlemen.
An Umpqua Bank first down for Glacier Peak
And-
here with 1:21 left in the half.
And they got to hurry. They're going to go in the hurry up, no huddle, hurry up.
Substitutions, Aiden Zymus.
Glacier Peak really needs to get some points on the board here.
Zymus plays out. It's caught by Guffey here at the 28. He gets across the 30. They'll keep the clock running. Glacier Peak does have timeouts, and Rory Rosenbaugh calls one right there. And we will step away for our Fred's Rivertown Ale House timeout. Don't go anywhere. 10-0 Bellevue. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle here, live in downtown Snohomish Veterans Memorial Stadium, just about 35-40 minutes northeast of downtown Seattle. And Tim, we have a STSPN giveaway. What's
do.
going on?
First person in the crowd that's listening and can come tap on our door in the booth here gets a free T-shirt.
What?
Free T-shirt.
You got to be kidding me.
Now, don't come charging in. We got security in here.
We got
But,
bouncers.
John McClain will see you. John McClain, we got a STSPN T-shirt. First person that comes and taps on the door gets a T-shirt. So if you're in the crowd there, you got a chance to win. It's huge.
Minute
It's
6.
huge, ladies and gentlemen.
Minute 6 to go here in the first half. Glacier Peak trying to make something happen. Now Zymus just
Ooh.
has to tuck it and run, and he's taken down by big 55.
Boy, and they don't have time for that, but they do have some. I think they got some timeouts left, but they're not going to have time to take a lot of sacks.
DeWord again, just a tackling machine. 3rd down and 8, and the clock is ticking. 45 seconds left from their own 31. Zymus, Ian Black there. Looks right. Now he's got pressure. He gets to try to get to Guffey. He catches it and steps out of bounds. What a brilliant catch by the hitman Guffey.
And he had the wherewithal to kind of look down, see where he was, and then get out of bounds.
Going to lead him 4th and see where they mark it, Tim. They do stop the clock with 36 seconds left to go in the first half. Again, stay with us. Our Action Jackson halftime show will have some homecoming festivities, and also Everett Herald writer Aaron Lammers, who preseason predicted Glacier Peak going undefeated. And he picked Glacier Peak to win tonight. Zymus.
Low snap. Oh, and they're going to punt it. Interesting. That's probably a good call there.
Takes a Glacier Peak roll to the 30 as all the Grizzlies are down there. And the clock is still running.
Burned some time, so that was actually a good play. You don't want to give them the ball back with 30 seconds left deep in your own territory.
You might not want to give them with 26 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
But it has been a great game so far. It started out a little weird, we're not going to lie. For Glacier Peak fans out there, Jackson Swim, the great sophomore who hasn't really got a lot of playing time, started the game at quarterback.
And it kind of threw everybody off a little bit, and they kind of seems like they wasted a couple series there. That hopefully that won't come back to haunt them. They do get the ball back at the beginning of the half, so that's good news for GP there.
Now they have to keep everything in front of them. Only one McDaniels do it center touchdown, and that was Hirota. Rogers gets it over now to Penn. Penn with a blocker going up the sideline. They gang tackle him down, at the 42-yard line.
Guffey and Dexter Carter in there. 19 seconds left.
And it's Tyson Penn. I apologize to everybody. It's Tyson Penn, calling him.
No one's knocked on the door for that T-shirt yet.
I know. Who's listening here at Veterans Memorial Stadium? Or if you know anybody out there in the crowd, if you're out listening, text them.
They'll come up at the half.
No.
19 seconds left, 1st and 10 from their own 42. Rogers going to sit back to pass. Now he launches it to Penn. Broken up by Guffey. No, that was bunt.
It was bunt and Guffey kind of combined on that. Almost landed in Guffey's hands, I think.
And that was going to Isaac Garcia, the 6'4", 220 senior. Boy, Isaac Garcia is just a baller. Look at that guy.
Well, and so is the QB, because that was a little bit of a frozen rope there.
You got to be happy, the future Coug.
Oh, yeah, we need him.
So is that –
we'll take him.
Yeah, what was that call down there? Ron, is your microphone on?
That was an illegal motion against Bellevue.
Oh, okay.
13 seconds left.
Back him up 5 yards. 1st and 15 now. Really, that doesn't matter with 13 seconds. They're probably going to have about 2 plays.
High school prep sports presented by Gilpin Realty here on STSPN. 10-0, 13 seconds left. Now 1st and 15 for Bellevue. From their own 37. Rogers back to pass. Across the middle, it's tipped up and it's intercepted! Ricky Crayons with the tip drill.
6 seconds left.
Trying to go to Garcia one more
4
time.
4 seconds, they burned a cut. So now here's the thing. They're gonna probably toss one up in the end zone, don't you think?
Maybe.
I think
depends
you
if they
got
get the right matchup.
I think you do. You know, a lot of people just go and sit on these. I don't think Rowe's that type of coach, personally.
Rogers, 1 interception here, 5 for 11, 48 yards through the air, and they've only held Bellevue to 62 yards on the ground. Ricky Crayons ended up with that ball. Who tipped it up? Was that Guffey or bunt?
He tipped it to himself.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here. 1st and 10, 4
Here
seconds
we go.
left.
Here we go.
Rainbow in, just over the middle. It's caught, and they flip it to bunt, and he flips it back the ladder to Carter.
I like it. I like it. They're using trickery.
So we go into the Action Jackson halftime score. Bellevue 10, Glacier Peak 0. Call somebody, text somebody. You want to come back, and we're going down to
Here we
Ron
go.
Henthorn with Coach Rory Rosenbaum.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's got to fight for the interview there.
We'll wait here for Ron Henthorn, Ron the Wedge, our Edmonds Community College sideline reporter, trying to wait for Coach Rory. And here we go down to Ron Henthorn. Ron?
Henthorn down here with Coach Rowe. Coach, an interesting first half, but a great defensive effort by your guys.
Yeah, defense is playing outstanding. We got to step it up on offense and help those guys out. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how they're playing. They're making some plays, and I think that's been the biggest problem for us in the first 6 times we played them is you just have to withstand the first half and see what happens.
I think that's a good strategy. Now, you're playing with all 3 quarterbacks again. Do you think you'll run that at halftime a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we might do all 3 in the second half. I don't know. We'll find out. See how it goes.
See what it looks like on the screen?
Exactly.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. I'll let you go back to team.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, there you heard it from the coach. He doesn't know what he's going to do, but he's doing the same thing. Back to you, Scott.
Nice
thank you
job,
very much,
Ron.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. That will begin our Action Jackson halftime show. Do not go anywhere. Don't touch that browser, that phone, whatever you're watching STSPN on our YouTube channel. We will be right back with halftime festivities on the Action Jackson halftime show as we see big Tyson Penn being gingerly walked off, though it's a critical injury here for Bellevue. But don't go away. We'll be back with more on the Snohomish Times Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Welcome back, the Action Jackson halftime show. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, and our special guest from the Everett Herald, guy who knows prep sports like nobody's business, Aaron Lammers. Aaron, thank you for coming in at halftime here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
So what's your first, as you see, we're showing the homecoming festivities, and we'll show some replays of the first half. But while that goes on, Aaron, what's your impressions on this first half, 10-0 Bellevue?
Man, Glacier Peak is playing out of their minds defensively. Really impressed with the way they played so far. It was kind of weird the way the game started out, and we were just talking off camera. The first 3 possessions for Glacier Peak were kind of interesting. Started out of the guys that they normally start at quarterback, or normally play at quarterback. They started the third guy who doesn't play so much, Jackson
Right.
Swim.
Yeah.
And I think they go three and out on their first 3 possessions, so that was kind of odd. But they kind of seemed to get in the flow of the game. And defensively, honestly, they're playing Bellevue defensively better than any team I've seen play Bellevue in the last 2-3 years.
Wow.
So, Aaron, you predicted from the beginning that Glacier Peak was going to win this game. I kind of like the prediction. Are you still comfortable with that, or how are you feeling?
I'm comfortable with it if Glacier Peak can figure out a way to move the ball in the second half. Defensively, if they stick with what they're doing all right. Going into this thing, there's a lot of factors with Bellevue going into this. I think they're maybe not quite as good as they've been in years past. Also, it's no secret that they're going through some I don't know what we want to call it.
Distractions.
Distractions.
Yep.
And I think that can weigh on a team a little bit. I just kind of felt like this was maybe the perfect storm that a team like Glacier Peak or some of the other good teams in the state out there might be able to get them on a given week. And what we're seeing so far, I don't know that Bellevue's distracted, but Glacier Peak's certainly playing at the same level as them.
Yeah, and to your point, being down 10-0 at halftime to Bellevue in a regular season game, they don't see that very often. Bellevue's usually up about 35-0 right now, typically maybe more.
Yeah, well, we actually saw a similar result last year. It was 30-0 final, but Glacier Peak losing. But that was one of the tougher defensive performances that that Bellevue saw last season until they got deep in the playoffs, where they saw Marysville Pilchuck and Eastside Catholic in the championship. If Glacier Peak has proven that they can do this to this Bellevue team before, and we see they're sniffing out this wing T like nobody's business. Some of these plays, they've got them, wrapped up 4 or 5 yards in the backfield.
Yeah, Ian Black was kind of reading some of those plays.
Ian Black, and I love what Zach Argue's been doing the last 2-3 weeks.
Yes.
And he is playing great right now. He's batted down a couple passes. I think he's got a sack out there. Could have had a pick 6.
Yes.
He's playing extremely well. I think Bellevue's a little backed up against the wall here.
Well, again, we're nostalgic for the 2011 playoff game where we had them on the ropes. Glacier Peak had them on the ropes at their house.
Glacier Peak was winning the game.
They were winning. They just get a big fumble, and I can just feel it. I can feel the kind of anxiety from the Bellevue side.
Yeah, a little bit, and you can feel the excitement, I think, on the Glacier Peak side a little bit. I wrote a story this week. I think this is the 4th time in 5 years that Glacier Peak has played Bellevue, and being the juggernaut that Bellevue's been over the past few seasons, I think maybe it takes that 4 or 5 times to really get it into your head. We can play with these guys, and probably even for the coaching staff too, and it looks like they really believe they can beat this team.
Aaron Lammers, our Action Jackson halftime guest here from the Everett Herald, and you guys talked last night on the KRKO radio show, and I know your article today with Rory. He mentioned last year's game and several others. He just says, we got to figure out a way to score some points on these guys.
And it's still the problem, right?
It is. He hasn't figured it out through one half. 10-0 here at halftime. One other thing, Aaron Lammers here with us, Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle. Talk about Wesco and Kingco and playing the big boy football. A couple Wesco teams earlier went down Eastside Catholic, just destroyed. We have not had a good showing this year. Other than Marysville Pilchuck, who gave a good run last year in the state tournament. Talk a little bit about Wesco versus the rest of the state and the level of football that we have to get to here at Wesco.
Certainly in my time here, I've been here about 7-8 years for the Everett Herald, and certainly there has been a little bit of a difference between Wesco and the rest of the state. And some of these things, Eastside Catholic, I think we got to throw that out the window a little bit with their result against Arlington. Eastside Catholic's one of probably the top 20 teams in the country.
Correct.
So you can't feel bad about losing that game, even as badly as they did. And you know what? I think we're getting closer. I think the Wesco teams are getting closer. You mentioned Marysville Pilchuck last year. 20-10 game in the semifinals.
Yeah.
That game was in doubt until the final minutes. Marysville Pilchuck could have won that game. And you see what's going on here tonight, Glacier Peak. I've been saying it since the beginning of the season. I think Glacier Peak's probably one of the top 2-3 teams in the state. We're getting closer. And a game like this, if Glacier Peak can figure out a way to score touchdowns in the second half, this would be a big step in the right direction.
All right, yeah. We want to play big time ball. We want to get respect, and a lot of people down. I remember even Seattle Prep, as you're seeing some great replays from the first half here from the 5-tool player Todd Elvig. Talk about Wesco's great in defense, but we just don't know what they are in offense. Even the Seattle Prep coach has said that. We over the years talking to Kinco Metro League coaches. So we'll see. Maybe the second half is a little metaphor here for Wesco offense, and see. Wouldn't it be great if we could just go, okay, I want to see Jacob Eason and Lake Stevens against Bellevue. I want to get these Monroe matchups. Monroe Lake Stevens, a big matchup next week. But anyway. Anything else here, Aaron, for
I'd just
Tim
say the last thing, Glacier Peak gets the ball, so your prediction might be on, and then we saw one of their key players walking off the field.
Yeah, Tyson Penn looked injured walking off the field.
So that kind of goes right into your hand with this prediction here.
I think the big key for Glacier Peak in the second half, stay patient. You got to be okay with 3-4 yard chip aways. You're not going to get the 20-yard big plays that you're getting against some of these other teams in Wesco. You got to be okay with chipping away. You got to be okay with it. Got to move the ball, and eventually things are going to go your way.
You think he'll stay with Zymus or Devin Rainbow on Glacier Peak's quarterback?
I would stay with the freshman, but certainly Rainbow or Ziomas in the second half. But I would like to see the freshman play.
All right, our Action Jackson halftime show again. Aaron Lammers from the Everett Herald. You are a celebrity, and again, it's great to have you.
That's not true at all.
Come on now. You got Twitter. You're on a radio show. You got the famous podcast, which, by the way, congratulations. I don't want to give Steve Willits or David Kruger too much credit, but it's very entertaining. You guys are a great mesh, and you guys know Wesco. And we always say between STSBN, SLSN, Everett Herald, KRKO, I mean, nobody covers prep sports, I don't think, like this in the state. I don't know where. I mean, you know better than I.
No, David and I are pretty proud of what we do, and obviously we have the relationship with you guys and SLSN as well. We love this. This is, we live for this stuff, so
it's awesome.
It's great. And yeah, we're very proud of what we do up here.
All right, thank you, Aaron Lammers, for coming in. Great stuff here. It's 10-0, Bellevue on top, and we will show you a bunch more. We'll get ready for Hannon to go. Aaron Lammers from the Everett Herald. Check it out, heraldnet.com. Read his articles, everything like that. So we will now show you a little bit of the band on our Action Jackson halftime show. If you know anybody here at the stadium who's listening to us, or if you're listening to us, text them. Come on up. We got a free T-shirt. Come up to the booth. 10-0 Bellevue.
right, Ron Henthorn down there with Steve Hannon. Steve getting his rain gear on down here for the second half. A good defense first half, Coach.
Yeah, so far so good. Obviously their coaching staff is really smart. They're going to make some adjustments. We made some adjustments just in case. We'll see how the second half plays out.
How do you think this rain's going to affect anything?
Well, obviously they haven't been in wing T all that much, so we kind of shut it down early on them. I'm not sure they're all that confident, but we might see more of it the second half.
All right, good luck in the second half. We're going to win out here.
I hope so, Coach. I hope so.
All right, thank you. All right, you and Steve Hannon going to play in the rain. Back to you, Scott.
Thank you, Ron. That is our Action Jackson halftime show. This is big time high school prep football presented by Gilpin Realty. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, and that's Ron the Wedge Henthorn. And 10-0. This is a fascinating game.
And some things changed over the last half hour. The rain is really coming down. You can't quite, sometimes we have a hard time seeing it in the booth, but it's coming down pretty hard out there. Could be a game changer there, Scott.
It could be. Glacier Peak will start this half with the ball. And running through just some halftime statistics, some oddities here. I tell you, penalties is always a concern and a big deal for Glacier Peak. 4 penalties for 21 yards. Time of possession, 13:59. But not much really glamorous running here as far as Bellevue, which they're known for their running game. Only 62 yards. Terrell leading everybody with 54. And that big 33-yard run in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I think it's a big victory for them holding Bellevue to 10 points in the first half. We talked about it at the halftime show, but I got to give Glacier Peak's defense an A right now.
Absolutely. There's no doubt.
This is no small challenge what they've done here. And good news is Glacier Peak gets the ball. They are going to have to turn up the heat on offense because the offense has been a little.
And the defense, we want to highlight them because they have been outstanding, holding Bellevue to 10 points in a halftime. As you see, the starting defense, and they've been substituting quite a bit. But Mafida, Jacob Elvig with a just massive sack early in the first quarter.
That was large. Ian Black's had some huge plays behind the line of scrimmage. You got Tanner Krantz has had some big plays.
So Glacier Peak will start with the ball. We're, again, coming to you live, Veterans Memorial Stadium, downtown Snohomish, 10-0 Bellevue. And here's the substitutes coming back up on your screen. Again, all these kids, the deputies here, doing an outstanding job.
And we're seeing some substitutes because you have to sub when you're playing Bellevue. They'll just wear you down.
Here we go. Bellevue not used to being on the ropes. They did take a loss their first game of the year from Bishop Gorman from Vegas, but they're not used to this. Dexter Carter back for Glacier Peak in the blue to receive along with Colton Bunt.
And they'll probably get a chance when it's cold and wet and rainy. It's much harder to kick that ball into the end zone. So you're probably going to see a return here. Unless they try some trickery.
And also we'll have to keep an eye on Tyson Penn as he kind of walked off gingerly into the locker room.
And that was
at
number
halftime.
8,
Number
correct?
8, yep. Tyson Penn, the big Oregon State commit, who they've tried to go to as Monahan.
And it's going to go to Colton Bunt.
And this is his third time, takes it from around the 5, trying to find a little crack. And it'll get past the 20 to 23-yard line, and that's where Glacier Peak will start.
See how this rain's going to affect the offense here.
Yeah, and if it'll adjust the play calling at all. We saw all kinds of quarterbacks. If you're just joining us again, Jackson Swim for Glacier Peak, the sophomore who hasn't played much, got the start at quarterback. Then we saw Devin Rainbow, and then we saw the freshman Aiden Zymus, and it's Devin Rainbow, number 3 out there with Dexter Carter in the backfield. 1st and 10 from their own 23. Stingy defense. And he gets it to Bunt. Bunt nowhere to go, and that's going to be a loss.
Yeah, that's going to be a loss of about 4, I think. Not sure about the play called there.
Will Moore on the tackle, the junior, 6'1", 215 pounds. And it'll be interesting seeing it, like with the rain coming down. We had a light mist in the first half, and just towards the end of the first half, it started coming down, and now it's pretty steady. So we'll see if we have to, it'll affect the passing game for Glacier Peak. 2nd and 12, loss of 2 there. Devin Rainbow. Back to pass. He lets it go. It's hit, and he's lucky that one didn't get picked off.
He got hammered right when he was throwing the ball. And that's usually where an injury comes, too, when you're, like, in the mid-form and somebody hits your arm. That's when a lot of quarterbacks' shoulders go out, and he looks like he's kind of shaken up a little bit on the play.
Marquise DeWert, again, he has been trouble all night long. The big fella in the backfield quite a bit, as he's used to.
Now they're faced with 3rd and 12 here, and GP desperately needs to start putting some first downs together in this game.
They were struggling. They got a big 22-yard first down, Zach, and that one just trying to go to Guffey, but he just taps it, incomplete pass, and it'll send them to 4th and 12. So not a good start for the second half. The offense cannot figure out this jigsaw puzzle.
No, they really can't. They have to get something going, or the defense is just going to get gassed real quick. There might have been there is a flag on the play. I thought Guffey got speared when he got hit, and I think it's going to be a first down. When Guffey got hit, it looked like, I'm not sure. It was.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, a big penalty. There was one in the first half that gave the Glacier Peak.
We're going to see it right here, but I think it's Guffey on the yeah, I think it was a unnecessary roughness hit on Guffey because he got speared right in the midsection. We'll see it again here.
Exclusive STSPN replay.
Yeah, I think that I thought they were going to throw a flag when he got hit, but.
So it gives them new life here, Tim. 1st and 10, way out now to the 35-yard line. Zach Hatch on the near side. Guffey on the far side again. Devin Rainbow at your quarterback, the senior. And there's a bad snap, and something's going on, and they asked to come in. They want to wipe the ball.
I think what they want is a towel. Rainbows, they've got to get that snap figured out. I know it's raining and everything, but there's been a lot of bad snaps tonight.
Jake Reynes, the 53, the center. 6-foot senior, 290 pounds. And there has been some difficulty. McCoy there, and you'll see Guffey now come to the near side. 2nd 11 from their own 35. First drive here for Glacier Peak, down 10-0 against the number 2 ranked Bellevue Wolverines. Steady rain coming down, and that's an offside.
I think it's a false start, but
I think it is probably. Yep, Brandon Howard, number 72.
You know, if Glacier Peak's going to pull this off, they're going to have to get it in Guffey's hands at some point. You got to get it into your playmakers.
And they tried last time, and it was just a tough pass on that penalty. So Glacier Peak trying to get something, find something that'll work in this this great defense of Bellevue. 2nd down, 16 yards to go. I have to get all the way out to the 46-yard line.
Trying to find the chink in the armor.
And clean snap, Rainbow, but it's tipped at the line, and it's down, incomplete. And again, 2 passes haven't even made it past the line of scrimmage almost. You'll see it right here.
Now you're looking at 3rd and 16, and boy, they got to get something going here.
The playbook gets thin, doesn't it?
It does. 3rd and not too many plays for that.
Isaac Garcia, number 2, batting that down. Again, these guys, the front line here, you're 6'4", 6'3", can jump out of the gym, as they say. 3rd and 16, just the start here of the second half. 10-11 to go in the third quarter. Bellevue up 10-0. Rainbow now with some time, picks up in the pocket, but he has to go down. And once again, big number 2, Isaac Garcia there first.
So the lone bright spot on that drive was a penalty that got them a first down, so they're going to have to regroup there.
Glacier Peak not looking clean and just, very well executed there. And Kevin Ramsey will be on to punt for Glacier Peak one more time. Back to receive. We'll see, it was 29, but they have Gilchrist back there.
Hello.
That's the voice of Todd Elvig, our 5-tool player. Nice punt. Takes
Oh,
it, now
and he's
drops
fumbled.
it at the 42. Now he's up the middle. And he's a load to take down. Makes it into Glacier Peak territory on the 40.
There is a flag down right where he was right where he dropped that ball. There's a flag down. Typically, about 90% of the time, that's an illegal block in the back. So I would expect that to come back a little bit.
And we'll go down here. Our Edmonds Community College sideline reporter, Ron the Wedge Henthorn. Is that what happened there, Ronnie?
I just saw the call out there in the field and look, not sure what he actually called, but it was against Bellevue. So a big break for Glacier Peak here to start this series.
Yep, it was illegal block in the back or a hold. So that cost him about 25 yards.
Yeah, it's penalties have played a big role here for Bellevue. Gave Glacier Peak a first down, couldn't do much with it. And here is Bellevue one more time, their first series of the second half. Rogers hands it off to Terrell.
Not much doing there. Couple yards.
Terrell, their leading rusher so far, 7 carries, 54 yards in the first half. That's just a gain of 4. You heard Coach Hannon, the defensive coordinator for Glacier Peak, coming out of halftime. He was pleased with their ability to stop the wing T and see if they're going to make adjustments. Rogers now, 2nd and 6. And they give it to Terrell one more time, but he's stuck there by Ricky Kranz and company.
Yeah, nice job on the defensive line. Nice push there. And way to not get fooled because they were running 2 or 3 other things. And I got to tell you, I wasn't quite sure where that ball was going.
Where's the spot there, Tim Boyle?
I thought he lost. It didn't look like he gained yardage, but
it's we always talk about the high school spot. It's a mystery.
It is. They give you the benefit of the doubt.
I'll say 3rd and 4 for Bellevue. We had a couple series like this. Big 3rd and 4, 4th and 4. Rogers under center. The wing T gets it, and it's crushed again. And there's big Colt McCoy, Ricky Kranz.
And he definitely lost yardage on that.
Andrew McCoy. I call him Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy. First time for me.
I know, the quarterback from Texas.
Yeah.
I know. I've done that many times.
Big boy McCoy.
Big boy McCoy. I like it. Just coined another one.
There you go. 4th and 6. They had a couple 4th down. They are batting 1,000 for 4th down conversions in the first half. But they'll punt.
Oh.
Cirillo punts it, and Bunt's just going to let it go. A huge Wolverine bounce inside the 20. That'll maybe stop.
Bunt probably should have fielded that one.
Boy, at the 15.
That cost him about 20 yards there.
We'll be back to see if Glacier Peak can figure this out. We are at a stalwart 10-0 Bellevue. Second series of the second half, down 10-0 now. Another quarterback, the freshman Aiden Zymus there. They hand the ball to Black. Black cuts up the middle, passes the 15, and he's met by a bunch of Wolverines, and they get him out of bounds. Always a mystery where they're going to spot him, Tim.
I think he got a couple. I think he got let's see what they're going to give him.
Ian Black earning his money tonight. 5 carries, 23 yards. His longest 12, and it'll be 2nd and 8.
Yep, they gave him a courtesy yard there.
Zymus gets it over. It's incomplete to Black, and that could be the rain's first effects, as Ian's usually pretty sturdy out there.
Yep, that was actually it was a decent pass, but I think it was a little slippery.
Boy, our first down sponsor, Umpqua Bank, not getting a lot of play time tonight. No, not a lot of first downs on either side. And now it'll be 3rd down and 7 here for Glacier Peak at their own 18.
Big 3rd down for GP here.
Zymus hands it to Black. See if he can cut the corner. He goes upfield, and I don't know if that was a great decision for Black, and he'll maybe cross the 20 to 21, but they'll be sitting at 4th down.
I think did we have a winner on our T-shirt? Wow, it took a little while, but somebody did have a winner.
We have an injury down, and it's Ian Black, and that's not good. He has been the absolute ever-ready battery, the train. He is the defensive stud and offensive stud.
Paisley Johnson wins the T-shirt.
Paisley?
Or Paisley's mom wins the T-shirt. We always give the kids more credit than
Hey,
they
I want to
deserve.
give her mom credit. Paisley, Powder Puff football. I mean, she could have knocked some of these boys around.
We're going to sign her up.
Oh, she took 2 ladies through into the end zone for about a 4-yard ride at Powder Puff this Wednesday.
Paisley, hasn't she already committed to BYU too?
Yeah, basketball. You can catch her on the volleyball court. She does it all. She could be the 5-tool player.
Yeah, and she's going to be wearing a T-shirt. Well, somebody is. Her mom, Paisley, we don't know.
We're going to step away real quick here. We have an injury on Ian Black, which is a very big concern for Glacier Peak fans. You're watching STSPN 10-0 Bellevue.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Okay, Ian Black, number 34, again, just a tremendous kid and so important to this GP football team so far. He is ginger to walk off, but he's up and he's off. Ron the Wedge Henthorn saying it's his right knee.
And that's going to be a tough loss there because to win this game, GP needs all those key players healthy.
And it's 4th and 4 from their 21, so Ramsey will be back to punt. He gets a decent one off. Back is Gilchrist. He goes out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it, Tim.
About the 47-yard line.
Decent field position again for Bellevue.
And I got to tell you, the offense just needs to give the defense a little help here. Hannon's probably just squirming over there saying, give me something.
I don't know what.
Give me some points.
I don't know much more he can do. And his
no,
kids
he's doing everything he can.
But you can keep these guys down for only so long, Tim Boyle. The Bellevue Wolverines are going to bust through the wall here at some point, you'd think.
It's usually what they do.
So at their own 47, Bellevue, again, they have been stymied on offense.
And they're
picked up by Guppy.
It's
He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Grizzlies! Justin Guppy!
Wow, the hitman! And we said it earlier, you got to get it in his hands, and that's the break they were looking for. And you're going to be able to see it again on replay.
Our McDaniels Do It Center touchdown. 47-yard Bumblerooski pickup into the house. Justin the Hitman Guffey.
Wow. That was, and they almost had the same thing happen last year, but I think it was Ian Black's knee hit the ground right when he picked up the fumble. Not this year, ladies and gentlemen. That was large.
Big extra point here. Kevin Ramsey, kicker Kev out, and Plank with the hold again in the wet, and they try to block it.
Uh-oh.
Timeout.
Interesting
Glacier
timeout
Peak. Why
on
are you
an
gonna
extra
call a
point.
timeout? Why are you going to call a timeout?
And here's the replay, ladies and gentlemen. You're about to see it here. But why, tough to burn a timeout on that.
Rogers didn't really make a decision where he wanted to go. Guffey there, and it's off to the races, and it's a good thing Justin Guffey got the ball because he's one of very few that could outrun.
I was just going to say you got a bunch of Division I college player potentially trying to chase Justin Guffey, and it didn't work.
So the second turnover of the night for Bellevue Wolverines, and that one turns into 6 so far, where we have a timeout, and it's a Fred's Rivertown Alehouse timeout. We'll be back right after this to see the extra point.
I wonder what.
Kevin Ramsey on for the extra point of the 47-yard fumble pickup. Now they fake. They go into an offensive look, and Joel Plank, the holder, is a former quarterback. They look over to Rowe, and they dump it over. It's too much. They had him wide open for the two-point conversion.
Oh, and he was wide open, just not quite executed. And we hope that extra point doesn't come back to haunt him.
They're going to number 16 on the Glacier Peak team.
Well, let's ask Ron what the timeout was for.
Ron, do you have any idea? I think you wanted to talk about whether to kick it or whether to go for that 2. I'm assuming. I'm going to guess. And he had it. They had it exactly what they wanted. They had him dead to rights. He just overthrew him just a bit.
Yep.
So 10
Technical
to 6.
difficulties with Ron. We'll get back to the wedge here soon.
10 to 6. And again, that timeout, first of all, and just kick the extra point, Tim Boyle. Get to 3 and make a decision down the road. Your third quarter, 5:58 left. I don't like that call.
I don't either. It could cost him at the end of the game. Well, now big. It's going to be a big defensive possession here by Glacier Peak.
Back for Bellevue again, Kevin Ramsey, the kicker. He had his first field goal last week, a 34 or somewhere in there, and he kind of pooch kicks it up front, and the up man gets it. He runs, and that's that's Terrell.
Yeah, actually, it's not too bad a field position. They're going to have it at about the 37, 38-yard line, so not too didn't cost them too much.
Brock Bradley was the kid, number 16. We have 17 people in the booth, or maybe 4 or 5, but we cannot have nobody has a GP roster. It's unbelievable. 5:57. The third quarter, Bellevue, the number 2 team in the state, the juggernaut on the ropes. Up now, Terrell. He breaks through the middle.
Couple yards.
And we'll see the big effect. Ian Black going out at 6:18 left here in the third quarter with an injury on the knee. We'll have to see if Ron can find out a little bit later if he's going to return at all.
I think that was Elvig on the tackle, too.
Nice job, big Jacob Elvig. Had a huge sack Huge sack in the first
Not
half.
Todd Elvig, Jake Elvig.
2nd and 6. 10-6 Bellevue. Rogers, Terrell almost breaks it. He gets a first down, an Umpqua Bank first down, but tiptoe, he wanted to go deep.
And he would have, too.
Terrell been the answer running tonight. Justice Rogers not doing much on the ground. He's tried through the air, but hasn't been too successful. Again, Tyson Penn, I don't think he's been back in the game. He went out in halftime with an injury.
Glacier Peak's going to be looking for another big turnover here.
1st and 10 on Glacier Peak's 47. Rogers, Terrell, left side. He's got room. Blockers to the 30, all the way down to the 26-yard line. And Ursel Terrell, another big run.
And they're getting Glacier Peak to bend a little bit here.
Nice block on the outside.
I think we got a timeout on the field, Scott.
And who's this?
I think GP's taking a timeout.
And that's their second timeout here in the third quarter after a 20-yard run by Terrell.
Didn't like the first timeout, but I'm not in the mind of the special teams coach there.
We're going to take a Fred's Rivertown Ale House timeout. We'll be back after this. All right, back. Scott Oshman, Tim Boyle, Ron the Wedge Henthorn down here with you. It is a rainy Friday night in October, the first weekend, and the homecoming GP crowd now getting fired up, trying to hold Bellevue out. 1st and 10 at the GP 27. Rogers, Terrell up the middle. A big gain for 5 or 6, maybe even 8,
and
up to the 20.
Terrell's kind of got their number right now for the last few plays, and Bellevue now in the red zone kind of knocking at the door here.
And again, we talked about this is what they do. They pound you and pound you. We'll see what fatigue does to this Glacier Peak defense. Andrew McCoy. Again, they're without their big leader, Ian Black, going out.
Oh, looks like
Black's is Black back?
Around. He's running down on the sideline.
There he is on the sidelines. This one going to Terrell, and it's a touchdown. Easy. Waltzes right in.
Honestly, I didn't know who had the ball on that one.
That
I was
looking
all over the place.
And I don't think Glacier Peak did, obviously either.
Not.
So McDaniels Do It Center touchdown here for Bellevue after the big momentum, the fumble. Guffey runs it 47 yards in for the Glacier Peak touchdown. They miss the 2-point conversion, and just like that, the extra point by Monahan is up, and it is good. So a little air out of the bubble, the mojo bubble that Glacier Peak built up with that big turnover, and Bellevue just does what it does, and they're up 17-6 with 3:56 left in the third.
Well, and the 5-tool player had a good point that having Ian Black out of there, Ian Black's been sniffing out those plays, and without him in that series, they just kind of marched right down the field. They've been able to stop that previous to that.
But it's hard to fault the Glacier Peak defense tonight, as they have just been sturdy, holding up, and it's the Glacier Peak offense just cannot figure it out. They have not been productive at all.
No, the only points they got on the board is from the defense, so they need to give the defense a break.
We'll see if they can do it right here. 17-6 with 3:56 left. Again, Ursel Terrell, 13 carries, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Monahan will kick, and Dexter Carter back to receive. And Dexter hasn't really gotten going. They haven't given him the ball much.
Now Bunt's got like all the receptions back there.
Monahan's kick, and
is that Guffey or
that
Bunt?
is Smith.
Uh-oh.
That is Smith, and he
fumbled.
fumbles.
That's all right. It went out of bounds though.
A
that was Smith.
Big run back by number 20, Ethan Smith, the junior.
Boy, and that's exactly what they need to get that drive going. Much easier to start on about at the 50. So maybe that'll be the spark they need.
And see, he and Smith changed up. Bunt was usually taking him back. And Ethan Smith with a great comeback. This is Glacier Peak. This is a decent field position there on their own 47. Zymus, it looks like. No, it's again, now it's Swim back in for quarterback. It's spin the dial night at quarterback for GP. And it's Jackson Swim who started the game. They give it to Carter, and he gets up with a nice gain on first down. They'll give him 4. Isaac Garcia there with the tackle, one of his many tonight. So a sluggish first half, Tim Boyle, and then the third quarter opened up. Glacier Peak had the ball. They couldn't do much. And to see what they can get back, 2nd and 7. They give it to Carter, and he bounces off one Bellevue player and is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was actually a good second effort by Aubrey Carter to get a couple positive yards there, at least back to the line of scrimmage. And Leslie's kicking me saying we're going to do another T-shirt giveaway.
I didn't think we had that in the budget.
Same rule. No, we don't.
You kidding me?
Same rules as last time. First one to come up to knock at the door is going to get a STSPN T-shirt. You heard it here, folks. Can't be Stephanie Johnson. Oh, I hear knocking. Nah, false alarm.
3rd and 7 for Glacier Peak. Swim back to pass. Goes over. It's caught.
That's caught. And
right before, and that's Zach Argue with the catch.
I don't like the spot, to be honest with you. I think he got robbed by about a yard.
You don't like a spot in high school football? Are you kidding me? Here's the replay.
Let's see where that goes. I thought he was right at the line of right at the first down marker.
4th and a couple inches here, and they're going to go in the shotgun again. Traditionalists like to just go right up under center and QB sneak. They go and pass on 4th down. It's caught by McCoy. He's pushed out of bounds at the Wolverine 35.
And we got it. That was a gutsy play, and we got an injured player, number 9. It looks like he's up, and gutsy play on 4th down there. Good second effort by McCoy to pick up a few extra yards too.
Wolverine shaking up. Miles Carson, the senior. A big first down, an Umpqua Bank first down for Glacier Peak. That was a
gutsy play there.
Very
on 4th
gutsy.
Down.
Riverboat Gambler. Swim's still in there. He started the game. Fakes it to Carter. Now going deep. It's a jump ball, and it's overthrown for big 6'4" Kyle Dvorak, when he was triple teamed.
Yeah, there was a little bit thrown in coverage there, and kind of got away with one there too. Throw it with 3 Bellevue guys right there, and lucky that's an incomplete pass.
2nd and 10 for Glacier Peak. All kinds of news by the Bellevue Wolverines. WIA now entering a federal investigation. And sometimes it's timing. 2nd and 10 here. Had him on the ropes. 1 minute, 35 seconds left in the third. Here's Swim. Now he's going to fake through the quarterback draw, and he bounces around a couple Bellevue Wolverines, and he'll go down finally at the 30.
I think he got about 6 yards on that, 5-6 yards. So
another 4th down.
I wasn't sure if that was a designed quarterback draw there.
It looked like one. And DeWert with another tackle. And now it is Devin Rainbow in at quarterback. I love all the things. I'm not saying don't shuffle him in, and I know what he's trying to do. And Roy Rosenbaugh's been very open about, hey, this is just the 5th game on our schedule. as Rainbow didn't want to hand that off, and it goes absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, and he's probably going to lose about 4 or 5 yards on that play. So
Bellevue will get the ball on downs.
It's going to be 4th and 10.
Oh, I thought that was.
I think.
We wish we had Spencer. Do we have the photo of Spencer?
Where's
Pettit?
the weapon? The
Where's
weapon would be good. 35. This would be like a 52-yarder.
Big shout
right
out.
in Spencer's wheelhouse.
4th and 10.
Okay, so that's going to bring up a 4th down for Bellevue. Probably it's going to be 4th and short, so they'll have a decision to make here.
Davis Van Ness, again, going both ways. A great tackle there, the senior 6'4".
I see a personnel change here, Scott, so they might be – it appears they're punting the ball here. They're saying 4th and 7. It looks to me like about 4th and 3.
Cole Cirillo, the kicker.
4th and
the
4.
punter. Excuse me, the punter. And back to receive. The lone man is Justin the Hitman Guffey. Cirillo. And he calls for fair catch. It's bounced, and if this Bellevue player, he keeps it in bounds. What a great hustle play there for Bellevue. They downed it inside the 5. Number
About
27.
the 3-yard line. Boy, that Glacier Peak's backed up in a corner there.
Mike Moran.
There's laundry on the field, though, so typically that's going to be on Glacier Peak.
Great
90% of the time those flags are on the receiving team, so let's see what they say. Oh, they're calling it against Bellevue.
Nice.
Whoa, now I wonder if they can make them punt that over. Oh, no, they changed it. It is on Glacier Peak.
9 minutes, 49 seconds left to go in the game. 17-6. Bellevue. They scored, it was 10-0 at halftime on a 11-yard Terrell touchdown, and then a Monahan field goal, 32-yard field goal. And Glacier Peak getting their 6 points on a Justin Guffey pick up a fumble, Ruski, and a touchdown. They tried for a 2-point conversion, and that's where we are. 1st and 10, Zymus in. Gets it away quickly, overthrown, incomplete.
They're going to have to be real careful here, too, with that snap. They've been struggling with the snap, and a bad snap could be a safety right now. So.
And 9:45 left of the game. Again, Glacier Peak kids just kind of walking back to the line of scrimmage. I don't know if we've got Ron Henthorn back up on the mic, but interesting to get the kind of the feeling down there. Zymus, the freshman in at quarterback. Carter, the running back. 2nd and 10. Zymus, it's caught at the 20, and it's Justin Guffey.
Who else? And again, we got to get it in his hands as much as possible. Guffey having a big game tonight.
An Umpqua Bank first down. There have not been many on either side tonight. Zymus, 9:32 left. Now at the 20, a broken snap one more time, and that has been an Achilles heel for this team all year long.
And good play by Zymus to actually be able to jump on that ball. That could have been a disaster there. Problem is you don't want to give up those first downs, and now it's 2nd and 13.
And this is what head coach Roy Rosenbaugh talked about on the Prep Weekly show. You just don't. That 1st and 2nd down is so important. So you're not in these 3rd and 20s and 2nd and 13s, but that's what it is on their own 17. Zymus now the lone Ranger back there. Getting pressure, and he's going to go down at the 2-yard line. The freshman, welcome to big-time varsity football.
Oh, that was not good. That just negated Guffey's big play. Now we're going to be, it's what, third and forever. Well, they're marking it about the 5, so.
Francis Haroon, the big Wolverine, 6'3", 230.
3rd and 25. I don't know what you got in the playbook for that.
They'll keep Zymus in there.
You got maybe hope for a pass interference.
Carter to his right. Zymus, they come, send the house, gets it off to Carter. Carter gets up maybe to the 7-yard line. They say he
thinks
fumbled.
they got the ball. They're saying he's down, though.
And it'll bring up 4th down.
They were kind of hoping for a prayer there, get it to Carter and see what happens. They're going to be punting from the end zone probably.
Kevin Ramsey out there. Let's go down to our Edmonds Community College sideline reporter, Ron the Wedge Henthorn. Ron.
Hey, kind of ramped down here, and emotions running high and low, as you can see as they go for this punt here. Looks like it's going to go out of bounds, and it does. So Bellevue will take over here with 7:32 left to go. We got a quick injury update on you. Ian Black got his ankle pretty much twisted, turned. I'm not sure whether it's an ACL or not. He's not sure whether it's an ACL or not. Very disappointed young man, but he's up kind of walking around cheering on his teammates trying to get things going here. So let's see if that defense can hold and we get another touchdown back here for Glacier Peak. Back to you, Scott.
Thank you, Ron. Nobody does it like the Wedge. And a sad night for Ian Black. He's such a big part of it. He's making such big plays on both sides of the ball, Tim.
It looked like he was going to go back in the game, but he was running around on the sidelines, but I don't see where he is down there.
1st and 10 on the GP 41. Now a new running back gets the ball, number 48. We did have a couple carries. Blake Jones in the first half.
Good job by the defensive line not to fall for anything there.
Boy, an emotional roller coaster this game, Tim Boyle.
Yeah, for a minute you kind of thought Bellevue was vulnerable, but they just kind of keep coming at you. And Glacier Peak kind of doing them a favor by not being able to do anything on offense.
2nd and 8 on the GP 39. Justice Rogers still in the game. And he looks to hand it off to Terrell, and they do. But no, they don't. He keeps it. The wishbone faked me out. And it's Hirota with the carry.
He's
Kristoff.
going to be short of the first down. It was actually a good cut in the backfield that he made. Avoided a little bit of a loss there.
3rd and 2 at the GP 33. Terrell doing it all. 15 carries, 128 yards tonight. 2 touchdowns. Or 1 touchdown. I think Hirota might have the first one. And there's Terrell. And a nice job by the defense, and that should set up a 4th and short.
Yeah, very good job by the defensive line there. Probably 4th and 1. Oh, they're giving him a first down?
Are you kidding me?
What? Where's the replay? I didn't think he got that.
Let's take a look.
He really get that first down?
Ron Henthorn, I don't know if you had a good angle on that to see the spot, buddy.
I did have a good angle on it. He was in the air over the 30-yard line when he got tackled and pushed back, so they gave it to him.
What do we know?
Okay, well, we had the bad angle.
1st and 10 from the 30. Bellevue up 17-6, 5:33 left. And breaks out of some tackles.
Still going. He's hard to bring down.
And the quarterback, one of his few runs tonight, he is a big dual threat heading to Washington State next year, the commit.
And you're right, he hasn't really held on to the ball that much. I think he usually runs a little bit more than he is tonight.
They tried to pass quite a bit. They'll give him a gain of 9 yards, leave him 2nd and 1. They're on the Glacier Peak 21. 17-6, 5:22. And the other thing is they're just eating clock. And Glacier Peak blew all their timeouts.
They have 1 left maybe? Yeah, they have 1 left.
Rogers under center. Terrell Hirota in the backfield in motion. They give it to Terrell. Terrell up the gut.
Nothing
there, and they touch him back, and now we're going to get a flag. No, we're not.
No flag. Ooh. That was very close, and it was Fafita there that Malachi, I think, was one of them.
No, that was Jake Elvig.
Oh, that was Jake? Oh.
And that was big boy McCoy. And Jake Elvig playing big tonight.
Got away with one there.
It is a big Bellevue-Umpqua Bank first down.
I like it. Saw the replay there.
You want to stay tuned for our Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game right after, and we'll try and get head coach for Glacier Peak, Rory Rosenbaugh. First down, they give it to Hirota. Hirota crosses the 10. Now they're deep.
Think he picked up the first down on that too, didn't he?
I will see. They look like the spot is at the 10.
It's going to be very close.
Second and inches. They have been knocking on the door all night, but you cannot fault. Again, 17 points right now, even if they punch this in with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. GP defense playing a heck of a game. Again, motion. Terrell. Oh, it's a fumbled snap, but they get it to Hirota. And the Grizzlies.
Nothing this time.
Yeah, right there. And now we might have some extracurricular.
Well, GP's going to have to kind of hold it together here.
I'm sure the kids are frustrated.
Bellevue's just chewing clock right now. Looks like, 3rd and 2. He lost a good yard on that one.
Number 57, Spencer Painter in there for defense, the junior. Hope you've enjoyed our presentation by Gilpin Realty here of high school varsity football on STSPN. You can see all on demand on STSPN.com or our YouTube station, Snohomish Times. 3rd and 1. And Terrell gets it down to the 1.
That's going to put it like a nail in the coffin there.
Guffey.
First down and keep it, the clock's being chewed up. Oh, we got an injured player on the field.
It's official timeout, and it's a Glacier Peak Grizzly, and we'll take a Fred's.
Who is? Oh, is it McCoy?
It's Andrew McCoy.
He throws his helmet off. He looks like he's hurting bad.
We'll take a Fred's Rivertown Ale House timeout. We'll be back. 17-6, Bellevue knocking on the door.
Basically, yeah.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Big boy McCoy is helped off. Again, this, it's a game, week 5 game, and this is something we talked about in previous years when we played Bellevue. It is a risk reward. Yes, you want to see where your team are, but when you're playing another level of team and athletes like this, you risk getting hurt. And Ian Black and Andrew McCoy,
that's two huge players to go down.
It's big casualty. Nice stop by the defense. The Grizzlies popped through Devin Woolhoff there.
And
dealing with argue.
Unfortunately, Glacier Peak doesn't really have much for timeouts right now.
Nope,
so,
they can't stop it.
You know, Bellevue will take that. They have one timeout, but they blew one on the extra point there.
Bellevue 17, Glacier Peak 6. Now, what will be interesting is how the playoffs shake up. If for some reason Glacier Peak was going to meet Bellevue later in the playoffs, this game
makes a difference.
Yeah,
I mean,
Rogers. Terrell, he has one touchdown and give him another. That's our McDaniels Do-It Center touchdown. Bellevue and Ursel Terrell, his second of the night.
And when I say it makes a difference, Scott, it doesn't really make a difference now, but it will make a difference when they play him because they've seen him. They kind of know what each one's going to do. Maybe Glacier Peak will have some time to improve over the next few games. And it does seem like every time they get into the playoffs, they end up facing Bellevue one way or another.
It has happened.
Or somebody from Wesco ends up with Bellevue regardless.
Yeah. Monahan on for the extra point. And, easy for us to be frustrated again with the Glacier Peak offense. And Monahan kicks it through. He kind of ends on his bottom, and they're going to call Glacier Peak, I think, for a penalty. And I think that's Guffey, and he's looking.
Yeah, just what you don't want to do. Personal foul, too. So they're going to assess that on the kickoff. So they're going to be kicking off from like the 50 or the 45.
But I was saying this Bellevue defense is phenomenal. They haven't given up a lot of points this year.
Well,
and traditionally, they don't give up a lot of points.
And, yeah, we've been a little bit critical tonight of the offense, but we got to remember there's like 8 Division I players on that team. So it is very difficult. And, the quarterbacks are looking at a completely different game than they've seen before with the players running around about twice as fast and bigger, stronger, faster.
They average Bellevue does a little over 36 points per game this year. The points against is only 14. So they come in tonight. Again, they do not give up a lot of points traditionally. And as 2:22 left coming down, we have to kind of shift our focus now back into Wesco football. And next week.
Next week is Terrace, right?
It is Mountlake Terrace again. I have to check to see how they did tonight. They had their first loss of the season last week to Edmonds Woodway. And so that becomes an interesting game.
Last year, that game went down to the wire against Terrace. I think Terrace ended up pulling that out.
Terrace did.
I think Glacier Peak had a chance at the last minute. And by the way, the predictions, Jim Dean got the closest, 21-27, but of course he didn't say who was going to win, so we're throwing that one out. Other than that, none of us were even close.
For Glacier Peak fans, not only did they, looks like they're not going to get this one, but also as Dexter Carter watches that fly by, you got to assess the damages here, the casualties of Andrew McCoy, Big Boy McCoy, and Ian Black.
Well, hopefully they'll be able to return next week, because if they can't, then that was 2 really big losses. And you're not going to beat Bellevue when 2 players go out like that. That's for sure.
And the statistics says, again, great job by Johnny McClain and Replay Rob working the stats tonight. This kind of tells the story. Rushing, Bellevue, 188 yards. Glacier Peak, 5.
5 yards rushing.
Now, it's a different story on the passing game as Glacier Peak starts 1st and 10 on their own 20.
Oh, look at Rainbow keeping the ball
that's
there.
Swim.
Oh, that's Swim.
Swim is a good
kind
runner.
Of going with 3 different quarterbacks tonight. I can't even keep track of them.
No, it's hard to. We need an app for that. We need an app to tell us who the quarterback is. Jackson Swim, the sophomore. 2nd down and 3. Nice pickup of 7 for Jackson. Bellevue goes on to play Juanita As Swim keeps it, now dumps it, tries to get it over to Wolhoff. It's a bounce. They call that a live ball.
No, they called it incomplete.
Yeah, Swim is crushed as he let go of the ball by Isaac Garcia.
Brings up a 3rd and 3.
2 minutes, 13 seconds left here in this one. Number 7 the underdog tries to upset big-time Bellevue, and it looks like it's not going to happen. And they give it up the gut there with 2 minutes left. Garcia again with the stop. So next week, 7 p.m., right here from Veterans Memorial, Glacier Peak welcomes in the Hawks of Mount Lake Terrace. We'll have all of that action live streaming here. 7 p.m. kickoff, 6:45 pregame show. 4th and 2 now for Swim. He keeps it and he finds a seam and he gets the first down. An Umpqua first down. Nice run by the sophomore Swim.
And about 4 extra ones just for insurance on that.
Nice fake there to Carter on the option read as the clock starts again. 1:34.
Well, all in all, I think Glacier Peak actually played about as good as they could against Bellevue. I know they kind of criticizing the offense, but it's probably about as good as they could play.
Swim trouble with the snap. Now he'll roll out and he'll get across the 37, and he's hammered down across the 40. Nice gain there.
Bringing it down to about a minute left in the game, Scott.
So we'll see if Bellevue can come on and get, there was talk. I was watching back the Eastside Catholic, their loss last year in the state championship, and they were talking about this year, this coming season, the 2015-16 here, as Swim gets it to Carter. Carter gets a little room to run down to the 40, inside to the 37-38.
And he ran a couple people over. He just plowed right through them.
Look out, Carter finally gets some room to run there. A little mojo for Dexter.
Like he had a little anger in the run there.
I think he's probably frustrated. He has not gotten the ball tonight.
No, he's been kind of held in check tonight. He's had some good defensive plays, too.
A 21-yard jaunt there for Dexter Carter. And I think for them to be successful, they got to get Dexter more involved. And he gets the ball one more time.
That's probably going to do it. I don't think they're probably going to, unless they take their last time out, but that may just do it for them.
So it could be Eastside Catholic. They have just steamrolled everybody, and Bellevue again for the 3-8 title game. And this is the last play. See if they even get it off. They just get it off, or no, they didn't.
They didn't. That's going to do it.
So that is the game. It was 10-0 at halftime. Couple little opportunities. Big mojo with the Guffey fumble recovery and a 47-yard touchdown. And then Bellevue just
kind of
forced their will.
They did. Just that running game, especially after Ian Black went out, you saw it change up a little bit, and they started getting a little bit, they started bending a little bit more.
As the players go down, we're going to name for Bellevue our STSPN Adrenaline Fundraiser Player of the Game. It's Ursel Terrell. 20 carries, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging just a couple ticks over 7 yards. And again, Terrell, just a phenomenal back and another monster game for our Adrenaline Fundraiser Player of the Game.
Congratulations to Terrell. That was a big game for him.
We'll be back.
Well-deserved player of the game.
We will be back as soon as Ron can get, see if he can get head coach Rory Rosenbaugh. And we see head coach Butch Goncharoff getting interviewed there by KRKO. And can we get him, or there he is. Let's go back down to Ron.
Down here with Coach Rowe. Coach, hell of a game to play tonight, but too bad you didn't come out on the winning end.
You know what? Yeah, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them. They fought. They played their butts off, man. And those guys will wake up, know they were in a game just like we are. We're going to be sore tomorrow. They are too. I thought our defense was ridiculous. I thought The guys played, it's tough. Those guys have a bunch of really good athletes, and if you miss a tackle, they're gone. And we played them as tough as anybody has. We just got to figure out a way to score some points on them.
Well, I think you didn't. Yeah, definitely need to score some points, but I think you're right on. These kids played their hearts out tonight.
Yeah. I'm so proud of them. They're awesome. So I think we came out pretty unscathed. We had a couple minor things, but I think this is our guys should feel really good about what they did.
Well, maybe we'll see them again in the playoffs, Coach.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That'd be great.
That would
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
All right, back to you up the booth there. That's it for me, Ron Henthorn, down here with Coach Rowe.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Ron.
The wedge. Nobody does it like the wedge.
And we'll try and get a couple minutes with Butch Goncharoff, the heralded head coach, his 8th year here. He is just a state title machine as they've gone many, many years in a row. So wrapping up Tim Boyle, just looking at the stats again, Justice Rogers, he didn't really have to do much. They tried to go deep a few times in the first half, but 5 for 12, 48 yards. I mean, nothing through the air.
I think they actually kept him in check really well. 24 to 6, but the game wasn't really that out of hand.
No.
I mean, GP was in it for a lot of the game, and the defense did about as good as they could do.
Justin the Hitman Guffey, again, 3 catches for 28 yards. Again, he's just a stud. Zach Hatch with the big first down there with 22-yard catch. And they through the air, 83 yards for Glacier Peak. Only it ended up in that big run at the end by Swim saved him there, and also Carter. So they end up with 48 yards on 29 attempts, 1.7 yards per carry on the ground for GP.
And just like you said, luckily Carter got that one run at the end. So,
are we going to get another interview with Ron? No, we're not. All right. Well, 24-6, Glacier Peak, a valiant effort, but the juggernaut, the Bellevue Wolverines, they win this one 24-6. For everybody on the STSBN crew, Tim Boyle, always a pleasure, always fun. I will see you hopefully next Friday night on STSBN when we welcome in the Mount Lake Terrace Hawks.
Should be a good game. Hope the crew's back together.
For all of this game and any other game, go to STSBN.com or our YouTube channel, Snohomish Times. Scott Oshman saying so long, 24-6 Bellevue. Good night, everybody.